That guy that sent us why are we so close today? That guy that sent us
COVID's over. Read a book.
Sorry?
We're close because COVID's over. Read a book.
That guy that sent us a live version of the guitar, an electric guitar playing this, we should have him just record that on its own and use that as the intro from now on, because a fan sent us him playing the guitar, a YouTube video of him playing the guitar, but he also did it over. Why are you so confused, huh?
Because I don't know what you're talking about.
I
haven't seen it. I haven't heard of it. So I was asking TJ if there's a guy that thing. I was just confirming.
You think I was lying?
No. I was just asking TJ for more
Look
info.
me in the eye and tell me I'm a liar.
You're a liar.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not lying, and there is a guy that did it. One of our loyal listeners or watchers. He did the guitar thing, so maybe we'll see if he can do that for us. Hello, bars are back.
Big time.
Bars are back.
A lot of FaceTimes this weekend. I'm retired, but bars are back.
You're retired. When did you retire?
A couple of years ago.
What about Friday night? The whistle.
That was different. That was an event. I was working.
So you were at the Barstool 500 party. It looked like quite an event.
Nuts.
Looked insane.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it looked like one of the biggest damn ragers I've ever seen.
I think it was probably one of the venues I've been at with the most people.
I would think so.
I mean, obviously, I've been to Madison Square concert, but like
a
party like that.
I don't know how many people. 3,000, 4,000.
It was close to
5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was full. It looked impressive.
And it was like the How I Met Your Mother episode. The ratio was flipped.
Mm-hmm.
The ratio was in our favor.
Yeah, I saw lots of beautiful women.
That's unheard of.
Well, I watched some of the videos, and guys like Jack McCarthy was just sitting there spitting game to a hot girl, and I'm like, well, yeah, the ratio has to be heavily in one favor.
It was wild.
If Jack is talking to a girl on camera.
Yeah, it was wild, and I got to laugh. I think I texted Eddie about it. Like, just the scene of Dave, with, like, his crew and then a crew of misfits. Like, that's the
Do you feel bad? Do
table.
you feel bad that you got to go and I didn't?
No.
Cool. Big F. We gave it a run. We gave it a run in May.
Y'all got pretty damn hot.
You guys got high.
I was the only loser this month.
Well, no, Rico was also a loser, but he was barely a loser.
Was I?
You were like down 0.7 units.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Couldn't put it together.
I would guess, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, I would guess probably as a show, our best month ever.
Has to be.
It was plus 36 units
Has
on the
to be.
month.
Without a
Because you
doubt.
finished plus 15 units
I did.
and finished in second place.
I have to imagine that would have won every month.
Every month, yeah. And shout out to Marty, who just was very hot all May and was able to close it out. I'm not sure that was necessary, but okay. The May champion, Marty's not here. He's off doing content. He's doing something for Barstool. So Marty Mush, the champion. Although I do question why we put Mush on there, because he took Mush out and got hot, but I think he's returned Mush to his name.
He looks good with that belt.
Was that your idea? Those
That's not
Photoshops
actually
are
him.
great.
That appears to be
Damn, Marty's chisel.
right.
Well, I figured that was his face.
When you get all those tribal tattoos.
I figured that was his face on somebody's body.
Yeah.
I think that's a very early career picture of Randy Orton, if I'm not mistaken. Before
Correct.
I got the full sleeves. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
No Mercy 07 to be exact.
Yeah, that's very. Now he has all the tattoo sleeves, but that's Randy Orton's body with Marty's, and not only Marty's face from now. That's like Marty's face from 2 or 3 years ago.
Yep.
He was throwing some RKOs out on those picks.
Yeah, he was. Marty was great. Marty was great last month. He dominated, and Big F finished up 15 units and didn't get within 5 units. So good for you guys.
I went after it. I tried to put it in the big juice bag parlay for 7 units. It fell short.
I think I'm changing the name officially of that. One of the Twitter follower replied to it. That's going to be called the Brian Cushing from now on.
Did you?
I like it.
It's the
I
Brian
like it.
Cushing.
Without
a doubt.
What if? Are you worried that Brian Cushing could get wind of this and perhaps?
Yeah, I was actually worried a little bit because he's still involved with the Texans, which is so weird that he's the strength and conditioning coach. It's fucking insane. I just don't want to. I wonder if PFT and Part of My Take would want to have him on and piss off that relationship. But I mean, the guy did juice. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think he's gotten caught. Like, it's
right.
documented.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he's like he's not like he's Barry Bonds. He's like on the fence. Like, he's
he's a
failed
two-timer.
test.
Yeah.
Failed test.
Barry
multiple
Bonds got
times.
caught too, didn't he?
But I'm saying not like
He kept denying it, though.
Yeah, he's denying it. The gray area is still like sort of there Cushing, it's like he got caught multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. I mean, where's the evidence with Barry Bonds? It's just that his head grew 5 sizes when he was 38 years old.
Yeah.
Cushing reminds me of the linebacker from the program.
Oh, yeah, Steve Latimer.
Yeah,
Steve
that's what
Latimer.
I always think of. When I
He
think
had
of
the
him.
long hair for a while. He
God,
did,
what were
yeah.
the things he used to say? Oh, place at the table.
Yeah.
Place at the table, and then
I hated that movie.
Really?
Did
Yeah,
you
I
hate
didn't
it?
like it.
It's not. It's not very good.
And
but
everybody
it,
kept being like, "It's fantastic." I was like, "This kind of sucks."
there's things about it that are really too far, too stupid. Like there's one. I mean, he is raping a girl, and then they let him play on Saturday. Like there's a lot of bad stuff in that video.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's,
that's why
it's been realistic.
You know, he
unfortunately.
gets on the
Baton Rouge,
tee.
sure.
He's taking the helmet. He's smashing windows. It's like the whole thing is. Stick with Friday Night Lights.
The movie or the TV show?
Movie.
You know, I never watched the TV show. I watched the movie. I read the book. I read the book back when I was in 5th grade when it first came out. But I never watched. And the movie was fantastic. I think the movie is a top 5 sports movie. I never got into the TV show.
The show is good because you get more character development, but there's never really any like fantastic lines or monologues, if that makes any sense.
You know why I didn't get into the show? Somebody gave me the first season DVD like back in 2006 or 7, whenever it was. They gave me the DVD, and I'm watching the first episode, and this Tim Riggins?
Yeah.
It's a 17-year-old kid who is like has 38-year-old problems. He's got like this long-standing alcohol issue. He's like he lives like a 38-year-old man. It's just not real.
Honestly, what's funnier is he was such a good character. They kept like basically as the show goes on, they make him younger and younger. So by the 3rd season, you realize that first season he was a sophomore.
He was a
like
sophomore.
He was like 15.
And he's best
waking
friends.
up like from a bender. Kid's like
Right.
he just finished his freshman year of high school.
And he's best friends with Street, who's a senior, which is kind of absurd. But either way, Riggins is like a top 10 character of all
For
time.
sure. I like the movie's definitely better. I love the show though.
But Riggins is great.
Probably one of the all-time like just crazier pilots. Like
Yeah.
so much happens.
They
in
say
the
it's one of
pilot.
the best pilots ever.
So much happens. Like when you see the main hero character, all of a sudden he loses his legs 20 minutes into the episode.
Maybe I will. I think you can watch it streaming on a lot of things, so maybe I'll catch up on it one
It's
day.
on. I think it's on Hulu. It's
Hulu,
on
and
a
I think
few.
Do you have
it's on
Stars?
Peacock as well. I have all of it.
It's on Stars.
I
on
pay
demand,
so much
pretty
money
sure.
for
I'm
streaming.
a fan. I've watched the show through a few times. I
It's
like the
very
show.
good, yeah.
Greatest pilot ever, greatest TV pilot ever, got to be Lost.
I never watched that show.
Lost. That show went off the rails after 2 or 3 seasons, but that pilot was something the fuck else. Somebody says Rico Central. Okay, here you go.
I like the Sopranos pilot.
That was a pretty good pilot. I just watched episode 1 of Mayor of Easttown.
How is it?
I got to get into that.
People are into it. I hadn't seen it.
It's
yet.
it's a setup. The first one's a setup. They show you what's going to go on, and then I like that it's like True Detective. It's going to get wrapped up in one season.
I just feel like once a year, maybe even twice a year, everybody in the world on Twitter gets into a show on HBO, and very rarely do I end up going back and watching the show and be like, oh, yeah, this was worth the hype. It just seems like HBO shows just get hyped naturally.
Yeah, but I don't watch. I don't have anything to watch, so I'm like, all right, good. If they say it's good, I'll get in. You know what I mean? I'm not watching anything right now.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about, a lot of sports. Rico was at the Barstool 500 party.
AD's dead.
He's not dead. He hurt his groin.
Yeah, those things linger.
The Lakers might be
Lakers
dead,
are in
though.
trouble.
But we'll talk about
said
the
it.
Lakers. Let's talk
I
about
said it too. Everyone was writing them off.
let's talk about the most electric
I think
thing.
he gave 5% chance. I
did?
asked when they were down 1-0. I said, "What is
We had someone in here. I think Marty or somebody said 0.
0?" Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
Marty, yeah. But I was very in fact, I still think the Lakers are going to win. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs. Let's talk about the most electric thing in the Barstool universe right now. These streams from Borelli's.
Insane.
These hockey streams. This hockey series between the Bruins and the Islanders has gone back and forth. Last night, the Islanders were up 3-1 going into the third period, end up winning it at overtime. Just absolutely balls to the wall electric the whole time. What an incredible stream.
Bringing
What a great secret weapon.
bringing Stu is an unbelievable secret weapon.
I just the second they tweeted out Stu Feiner just walked in and the place went nuts. I'm like, all right, we got something.
Yeah,
tonight.
it's you have to be watching on 2 screens. And Marina is a sweetheart, but she's gonna murder Frankie Borelli with a pair of hands
I do
on
think-
these streams.
I do think Marina's my favorite person to watch. On
It's
these
the
streams.
best. She's extremely knowledgeable about hockey. Obviously knows the Bruins. She's been the Bruins girl forever. It's nuts.
She had an all-time just dip when the goal was scored.
Yep.
She just slid that table out and just slid out of there.
But that was she is great.
Did they even stick around? Like I'd be in the car.
No,
I would
Fights
go,
did.
You
Fights
gotta
just
go
sat there.
gone.
Right?
I just remember I was watching her. She like literally, she physically like pushed the
Yep.
table, just swung the table, and just slid out of there.
But when there's a goal for the Bruins, like every fight stands up and he goes and high fives everybody, and Grinnell does what he does, and longtime Bruins Casey does what she does. But sometimes Marina
Right.
will just stand up, calmly turn toward Frankie, and just start yelling at him.
Yep. I love it.
Start yelling shit, and it's incredible. It makes for great images, great still shots.
Frankie going off on Grinelli says you celebrated with the Blues 2 years ago.
That
Like,
was so
the hat throws.
That
it's-
was from a Barstool Radio, like old Barstool Radio. I remember that episode. It was me, it was Dave, Tommy, and he had me on that day. It was the three of us, and he just sat there and eviscerated Grinelli. I believe that he actually referred to Grinelli, called Grinelli a cunt. That same day. But that day was he exposed him for a picture of partying with the Blues, and he even like called RA and was like, "Would you have done that?" And RA was like, "Nah, like I wouldn't do that."
Yeah.
So the second when I was watching it and I saw Frankie doing that, I was like, "Oh, that's a kill shot."
So I don't know Grinelli from anybody. He and I maybe have said what's up in the hallway twice. Is he is a Bruins fan?
Yes,
He's from Boston.
Okay, so
he's a Bruins fan.
Yeah. All right.
But after
I don't
the
know
last,
too much about him.
After the last cup, they were there or something. I guess somehow he basically just ended up partying with the Blues after the Stanley Cup, after they beat his team.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's like you know, talking shit about all these guys for so many years. Then you get a podcast and you have them on and you kiss their feet. It's like that's if you're somewhere where a team's partying, you're gonna party.
I think that night is different. Like I'm saying, if you think Marina would be partying with the cup, you're crazy.
I think Marina would just walk into there, take a hockey stick, and beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, probably.
No, but
I think Grinnell's a fan.
Dave
but I
went
get
to
what
the
he's saying,
Patriots party. If you have the opportunity to be at the party when they win, you're taking it.
No.
You
I'm
don't
saying,
take it for a team you're not friends
Well, yes.
with.
I think it'd be acceptable if the Bruins were not playing. Like I think if it was like Blues versus like
that's right. They beat
whoever,
his team.
Like
Yeah,
if it was
okay.
Blues versus
Wait.
whoever.
The Blues beat the Bruins?
Yes, that's right.
I forgot that.
Yes,
part.
that's why I think it's like a no-no.
That's
that's what I'm
We've
saying.
added a whole new level.
That's what I'm saying. If you think
that's
Marina would be
nuts.
partying there, you're nuts.
No, that's insane.
If they were playing nobody, I think it's fine. Like if they were just playing whoever, it's like the Lightning or whoever, no issues. Can't be. If you think I'd be partying with Bama after they beat Ohio State in the championship game, you're nuts.
Hell no.
Never.
Right,
Never.
no.
A lot of people on the chat wanted me to ask you, Rico, about your meltdown Thursday night, but that was your neighbor.
Yes.
Is he
I
cool
forgot
now?
about
Well,
that.
that's why I'm moving.
Okay, you got to get away from that neighbor.
It's
happened?
it's bad. He's telling people like he loves them, and then he's yelling at Dave, and it's crazy, man. The guy he's got no internet, so I'm being a good person. I give him my phone, and he sends these weird cryptic messages.
What?
It's lunacy. Yeah, he's crazy.
Stop,
man.
stop.
It's nuts.
He doesn't have a neighbor.
Tells people he loves them. It's weird. Man.
Rico's insane.
It's nuts.
Okay. I'm worried because Ben's actually getting concerned. He wants to come over there and talk to your neighbor. He wants to
Gotta
help you
talk to
out.
the neighbor.
But
Hell of a show.
you got your neighbor in check though.
Neighbors in check. Hell of
All
a
right.
show.
So I love the outfit. College baseball regional season talk. Yeah, I'll let Ben talk about that in a minute. We'll
Did anyone see that graphic with the jerseys
no. What about it?
about the College World Series? It's hard to describe.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
got
I
all
saw-
the regionals and it's got all the jerseys.
I retweeted it.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's probably how I saw it.
We just launched shirts, Barstool and Omaha shirts, like 20 minutes. Well, they came out yesterday. I just did a video. If you like college baseball, please support them.
So we'll talk about the NBA playoffs. We'll talk about the NHL playoffs in a little bit. College football recruiting has opened up for the first time in almost 2 years. Today it's going to be a
That is
free-for-all
sick.
out there.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that is awesome. I want to look at that for a second. NJIT's got
Look
a
at
pretty
that
good.
soft-ass regional Starkville's got.
That's fine. We deserve it.
VCU, Samford.
Oh, you guys are all about the name on the front of the jersey. We actually have higher RPIs at our regional than you have. Boy, those
I'm sure y'all would not trade.
Monarchs have a good. Old Dominion has a good uniform.
Yeah, I thought that is a cool thing.
These are
I think I have
That-
that Oregon
the-
one,
the-
but I think it says Ducks on
I
it.
like
college baseball uniforms. Underrated
Fire.
Underrated way to
Underrated.
dress.
Yeah, the
Big fan of the color.
Ole
A lot
Miss
of
started
colors
the powder
going on.
blue trend, and now everybody's copying.
No, you didn't. Are you kidding me?
College.
No, you
college,
fucking
well,
didn't.
The Chargers did it. but
Powder blue was going in the 80s.
Everybody, yes.
Is that Louisiana Tech with the powder blue?
Yeah,
Can I have-
they're copying Ole Miss.
No, they're
That's
fucking
sick.
not.
Let me give you an idea. I mean, if you're a Little League,
NJIT.
Little League
Not
All-Star,
that serious.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't put the answer.
Little League All-Star teams should be robbing these uniforms, like high-end softball teams, travel teams. They should be robbing these uniforms. These are better than the MLB.
Yeah, these are good. I just powder blue is just a great uniform color. Like the Indiana State Sycamores jersey down there looked
Yeah,
incredible.
more of them, more teams. They did it in the 80s. More teams should be wearing the powder
My
blue.
phone's ringing, but I'm not going to answer it because I'm a professional.
I'm gonna have to. Makes me want to like rank the jersey colors.
Not bad.
And I mean colors just in general.
Could be
Maybe
a-
the top 10.
Could
top
be a
10.
blog, Big F.
Just block. I've been blocking up a storm.
Yeah,
right?
you
You
have.
have been. You have been.
Blocking up a storm.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you have.
I'm back.
All right, guys, let's get serious for a second. The last year has been hard on a lot of people. That's why we're doing something new and partnering with our new sponsor, BetterHelp Online Therapy. Boy, y'all didn't see it, but when we had the graphic up, Ben accidentally hit my mic and it knocked it right into my chest. I think I've got a bruised sternum now.
My bad, man. I didn't
That's
mean
all
that.
right.
That one was accidental on like the egg throw earlier last year.
At Barstool, we truly love and appreciate our listeners. Without you, none of us would be able to do what we do every day. So once in a while, we try to bring you something good. Maybe it's for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe you get into this. Maybe you don't. But we take care of our bodies. But with as tough a year as this has been on many of us, we might also think about taking care of our minds. And there's a misunderstanding of what therapy is. It can be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be sitting around talking about your feelings. It can be this BetterHelp online therapy. A lot of people battle with their temper.
Yes.
Their stress is too much to manage.
Yes.
Or they have depression, anxiety, PTSD, the list goes on. That sounds like somebody with a Purple Heart.
Yes.
If this is you, you can use therapy to get some tools that make life easier. When everyone is struggling with something, there's no more shame. You don't have to tell everyone your personal business, but you can talk to a therapist about it privately. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what therapy is really all about. It's always a good time to invest in yourself because you are your greatest asset. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/picks. That's BetterHelp.com/picks.
Can we do one thing on Borelli's real quick that I tweeted the other night?
Come here. Yes.
Who's this?
Come here. Come here for a sec. How long? You got 30 seconds?
Dude, that
Carry ya.
yes.
I was sweating it. But I
That's
took
straight.
care
That
of
was
ya.
that was
All right.
Gotta
fire.
write the check before game 3.
All right, you headed to
$125 now.
125.
So what do
he's
you
in
think?
for.
You guys are headed to Boston now?
Yeah, I guess Borelli's was a little too loud. We have to change the venue up.
I don't think that's the reason you're changing.
Well, we got them on their heels now. They're trying to scramble, find different ways to get a win. That place was fucking jumping
That shit was
last night.
insane last
Never
night.
incredible.
No, I mean like
goals erupting legitimately sounded like a stadium.
The picture of you crowd surfing behind the sad Bruins fan, it should be your Twitter avatar
A lot of
forever.
people say it's a little early for crowd surfing, but dude, these playoff runs, it's all about the run. Once you end up, I don't know what this feels like, but once you inevitably win the championship, it's like it's over. It's about the run. It's about the process. Like that is
The
the
journey.
most fun
Life's
part.
the journey, not
It's
the
the
journey.
journey to the
not
cup.
the destination. Yeah.
I'm gonna celebrate every goal as if it's my last.
That being said, you're going to win the series.
Oh, I think now the Islanders are very much in this series. I mean, you're coming back to the Coliseum. You have a chance to go up 3-1. I mean, come on.
I have
Alright.
2 things off of that real
St.
quick.
Jude.
One, it's awesome that after every goal, no matter what, you hug your dad first.
Yeah.
Some things. 2, the background guys
A couple of them
think
were
they're a
problem.
little too in the show.
Couple of them were a problem last night. We had to
Think
kick
we
one
gotta,
guy-
yeah.
I saw
think-
that.
We had to kick one guy out. We got it done. He was crying in the parking lot. We
I
made
think,
it happen.
Yeah, I think game 5 and 6, we might have to talk to Fun Anthony, get some bounces in
Yeah,
there. They
that's
think
fine.
they're in the show.
I like
Last
that.
thing I know, you got to go
They're
do a
in the show.
podcast. When did you come up with the idea to get Stu in there?
Yesterday afternoon.
Nice.
I said I needed some fucking firepower. He walked in. The place was buzzing at like 5:30. We had live music going. All of a sudden, the live music stopped. Stu Feiner walks in. The place erupted. Went crazy. He's screaming, "Fuck!" fuck, and everyone's going crazy. It was awesome. He's
Marty
like-
had a good tweet. This is the last thing. Was there anybody there who was just trying?
No.
Okay.
No,
Everybody
sorry.
kind of knew the deal, right?
Yeah, we
All
we
right.
pushed away regular customers. We're actually closed on Monday, so shout out to my dad and my mom setting up the restaurant.
Nice.
I was on top of the roof getting cable because we had overflow into the patio. It was crazy. So
No-
it was
no
a full
pasta, I
family.
saw.
No pasta. We made antipasto, so it was just a little salad with some meats and cheeses inside.
If it's 6 or 7, I'm coming out. I'm
You
gonna
have
be in the
to.
crowd.
make
You
it-
have to.
I'm in the crowd.
Thanks, guys. You have to.
Thank you, Frankie.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
your
just make-
stream, but I'm in the
No,
crowd.
let's make sure we make it about Rico whenever we can.
What did I just say?
You said if it gets to 6 or 7, I'm coming out. That's what you said.
Yeah, you gotta be there. I want. What am I gonna say on the stream? I don't know. I still think fucking Scott Stevens is playing. I'm
Okay.
not in the hockey
We'll
stream.
sit you off camera then.
Have you been there? The food's unbelievable.
I bet it is. I've never been there. I want to go.
I went out after a wake, and I texted Frankie. I found out I was only a couple miles away. I was like, I'm going.
What'd you have?
I had probably baked clams.
Oh,
I had a pie. And I think that was it. It was
Loves-
unbelievable.
love some baked clams. Delicious. I've
That
never
does
had
sound
them, but I love them.
incredible.
You've never had baked clams?
No,
It's not a Southern thing.
not a southern thing, even a little
Jesus
bit.
Christ. Christmas Eve, I eat them like I got 4 assholes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a Christmas Eve dish?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's 7 fish. But that's an appetizer.
Mm.
It's unbelievable.
What time do you eat Christmas dinner? I like to
we
eat mine
usually
about.
get there at about 6.
I like to eat mine about 11:30 in the morning.
Christmas Eve, you roll in about 6. Usually you get the bowl. That was this famous San Diego State Bowl. They return the opening kickoff in about 3 seconds.
Hey, were you here for the Thanksgiving debate?
Yeah, the mac and cheese debate.
No, not that one. That was a different one. Were you here for the what time to eat Thanksgiving dinner?
Yes, I was. I always eat later though. I remember. I prefer to eat. I always wake up ready to eat on Thanksgiving, and then wherever I go, it's like 4 p.m. and it annoys me. I actually
Yo,
I'm
you
on.
eat all
I'm
day.
on your side. Like I eat late, but I would rather eat earlier.
Okay, fair enough. It's Big Ev wanted to fight me when I said this take.
He's
Well,
right.
I mean, 11:30 is preposterous.
That's not preposterous.
But,
Wake up, eat,
but 3
watch
p.m.
football.
is preposterous too, and a lot of times like it always is like, oh, it's gonna be 3 or 4. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that allows you to have a second dinner somewhere else.
What do I need second dinner for? Second dinner
It's
is
an
just
eating
leftovers from the first
it's
dinner.
an eating holiday.
They're all eating holidays to me,
All
brother.
right, fine.
I
I'm
made-
talking to a different animal now.
I made the best burgers of my life yesterday. I don't
Yeah.
know what happened. I don't know how I got it just right. Sometimes, you don't want to dry them out. You don't want to leave them too long. I just left them perfectly, and I had the juiciest, biggest burgers I've ever had. It was such a great victory for me. There's no better feeling for a dad than stepping off the grill and knowing you nailed it. It's the best feeling we have in life, other than maybe pussy. But that ain't really happening for me anymore. So, boy, good grilling yesterday. I did a Spotify playlist thing. I should have texted you.
I liked it.
I did a Spotify playlist thing where I had I was just sitting on the porch listening to Spotify, listening to my music, had my speaker going, and I texted a bunch of Barstool people, add 5 songs to this playlist.
See, now I'm offended. Now, when you just started like, oh, I should have texted you, like I didn't text anyone.
I
now,
apologize.
I texted a bunch of people, didn't text you now.
I was getting down the list. But
Down the list. All right. Yeah, no, noted.
so I texted.
I told you why you got a minute on mine.
So
I searched Barstool in the thing, and I forget if you just have a name without Barstool. I forgot. But
I
it's-
got Ben Mintz
I gotta
sent me
change
sent me a Grateful Dead song. He sent me Temple of the Dog. He sent me
Nirvana, Tom Petty.
yeah, and
That was
then
good.
this motherfucker Rico Bosco sends me a girl I've never heard of, Jessica Falker.
yeah, to be able to love.
Sends me How Will I Know by Whitney Houston.
Bangs.
Sends me Cruisin' by Huey Lewis and Gwyneth Paltrow.
My favorite song of all time.
And what else? You sent me 2 more.
Hootie.
You sent Only Want to Be
Yeah, I
With You,
saw you
Hootie.
because I thought about doing time, but
Did you send me?
Listen,
did
it's
you send me
never enough
ABBA
Hootie.
too, or was that Joey
No,
Molinaro?
that wasn't me. Cruising, Country Grammar by Nelly.
Yes.
To be able to love How Will I Know and Only Want to Be With You. I think that's encapsulates all crowds.
It was good.
I tried to do a little bit of a Memorial Day theme, so I did Grateful Dead, United
Okay.
States Blues for the Memorial Day, people that
I
died.
couldn't find that on Spotify.
I Won't Back Down for the Memorial Day, U.S.
That was nice.
I tried to think. I was trying to think like something that tied into the holiday.
It was. By the way, do you guys know gambling intern? Not intern. You know Owen. Owen, who's on the Yak.
Yes.
Owen sent me the 5 most depressing songs I've ever had in my life.
I could see
What
that.
did he-
in his
what did he say?
personality.
It was just all my girls left me. I want to kill myself songs. It
But like
was-
by who? I'm just curious.
Zah, we get canceled if we play music?
yes.
Yes.
Very,
Unfortunately.
very
You-
much so.
YouTube's
Very
no,
fast.
YouTube's no go.
Almost immediately. Yes. He
Dante sent me one where it
I
says
did Von Millen change too.
it's my Memorial Day 21 playlist. TB Walker 3000. If you want to go look at it. Owen sent me. What's his name? Starts with an O, right? Something by the Kooks, something by Oasis, the New Basement Tapes, the Lost Dog Street Band, and Kings of Leon. And it's just all kill yourself music on Memorial Day. It was unbelievable. Brutal stuff. Okay, so NBA playoffs. The Lakers are in a fight.
Did you text?
now.
Hold on, I know it doesn't work yet. Did you text Colby?
I don't want to talk about that
Why?
because Colby is the Spotify god. He is the playlist hero. And I texted Colby 30 times, and he never added anything.
Interesting.
I asked him to add 10 songs.
Yeah.
And he never quite did it, unless he did it during the night.
Colby Spotify is a must follow.
Somebody added, who added Avril Lavigne? I don't know.
She's dead.
Oh, looks like.
Right?
Okay, so Colby did add
Conspiracy theory.
during the night. Colby added a bunch of songs. Olivia Rodrigo, Justin Bieber, Mike Jones. He added a bunch of stuff.
Colby's the top follow on Spotify.
He is the top follow. Yeah, he is fantastic. In the Western Conference, we have 3 different series knotted at 2 games apiece, including the Lakers-Suns, which has had some wild swings. The Suns win game 1, then the Lakers win the next 2. Looks like order has been restored. They're about to march through. Now AD strains his groin, and he is doubtful to play tonight, and that means the Suns are, I think, 6.5 point favorites. But the Suns, if they win tonight, are now up 3-2, and even if you get AD back, you've got your backs are against the wall. So the Western Conference playoffs could get thrown into chaos very, very shortly. And you've also got let's talk about that. Lakers done if AD is not fully 100% go.
I don't know if you can ever say done with LeBron.
Done is. I don't think they could win the championship without him.
Could they beat the Suns without 90% healthy AD?
Yes. LeBron could go berserk.
That's
always always on the table.
Yeah.
Now I think his berserk has lost a Z. It used to have berserk.
Right.
I think he's lost the Z a little bit, but he could still go berserk. I agree with you 100%. They're not winning the championship. I also think it'd be nice to see him getting fucking knocked out in the first round.
I'm cheering for
just from a theater thing. You know what I mean?
Think that would be miserable because then we'd have to hear all this about he's not Michael, he's not this, he's not that. Because every time they lose, or anytime he loses something, it dominates sports for like 2 or 3 days. I almost just don't want to deal with that shit.
I don't watch that shit.
I mean, they just won last year too.
Right.
I don't know. I want to see Chris Paul making some cool adjustments because his shoulder. You see, he used to never go left and shoot, and he's been doing that a lot, adjusting. And the Lakers weren't prepared for. I don't know. It's cool to see him adjusting during the series.
I mean, he's unbelievable. Well, that's the thing I said too. Is Chris Paul the guy everyone rallies behind and says, "Hey, he deserves a ring"?
Maybe.
Did you see a lot of people like as a casual fan just being like, "Hey, I'm rooting for"?
I can see that. I can see that. I do think he has a very high approval rating with fans, even casual fans alike. I've just always looked at Chris Paul as somebody that's frankly a little overrated. I mean, he's had chances to win. He's never been able to lead a team to do that. Okay. So
I'm firmly on the Chris Paul's overrated train.
Yeah, he's never won. His winning and his reputation don't quite match.
Has he never even? Or no, he's played in one Eastern Conference Finals.
One Western. Remember, he hurt his hamstring and he was out because his hamstring was hurt. That was the Game 7 when Trevor Ariza went like 0 for 12.
I just always had this little beef with him because I just felt him and Melo are like the same, and everyone always looked at like he's so much better. I want someone to argue with me what makes him so much better than Melo. I want
They're just such different players to me.
It's like everyone's just like floor general. I'm like, all right, but you're just saying words at me.
Right.
Like, you're not giving me real context.
No, it's fair.
To me, I think that Melo honestly went further in the playoffs until just recently with less talent.
I think they're the same. I think you can win a lot of regular season games if Chris Paul is your best player. You can win a lot of regular season games. Carmelo is your best player, at least prime Carmelo. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you win a championship with either of those guys as your best player.
I think that's fair to say. I just as a Melo rider for most of my life, I just felt like Chris Paul was always looked at so much superior, and I just never understood why.
Yeah, he ran into the Golden State. The Clippers were rivals with Golden State, and they just got mashed.
Because if anything, Chris Paul had more talent most of his career and did
the
same, if not less.
They had a really good team that blew Game 7 to the Spurs back in this was 07 when they had Paul, David West, and Chandler. and Peja. That team was the best.
Yeah, they were good.
Best Noel team. The thing about Chris Paul too, he's an easy guy to hate because his mannerisms are horrible. He's always bitching at refs. He's had all the knees to the groins. He's got a little of that Isaiah Thomas in him a little bit, I think. And I feel like he's a guy that's kind of disliked because of that, but I'm always biased to him because the some thing stuff. He did so much for at-risk youth and NOLA that AD didn't give the slightest shit about New Orleans, and Chris Paul gave so much back. So that's why I like it.
And I've also I got to see him speak after a game, which I'll always like him for. But the big thing to me in like 2003, and you could look it up. You familiar with how his grandfather died?
I'm not.
His grandfather, I remember watching. He's a couple years ahead of me in high school, so he was like a big time prospect. And they did like one of those Sunday morning things, E60 before E60, like outside the lines probably. Long story short, his grandfather.
You have to move over.
I'm moving over.
His grandfather gets killed. I'm nearly positive. Couple of days before or a couple of days after he commits to Wake Forest, probably the day after. He goes out in the next game, and they're trying to figure out how do I honor him. He scores 63, his grandfather's age, and on an N1. So he goes to the line and just kind of throws the ball to the floor, gets subbed out, and just collapses on his coach's arm. So I always will associate that forever with Chris Paul just being like, wow, it was a pretty cool thing to do. And yeah, he's just been around forever. But I agree with you. I guess if you think he's overrated, you're going to always have that trump card, so you wouldn't root for him to win a title. But I do think a lot of people like him.
I think it's his on-court. It's that on-court stuff, though. Like, he always is, like, scowling at refs, and he's had some kind of sketchy, dirty play stuff. And so I think he kind of became a villain because of that stuff.
There's a lot of good points on the chat. The Western Conference has just been a monster the last few years, the last decade. And I think Chris Paul is a great player. Not a good player. He's a great player. I just don't know that if you're having conversations about the very best players in the last 10, 15 years, I mean, I think there's a couple names you have to say before you get to him. I don't think he should be in, like, is he a top 5 player of the last 15 years?
No.
He's aging. I will say this: he's aging really well. His longevity. I mean, he's 35 now, and he's still doing it really consistently.
Kind of reminds me of Nash at the end of his career.
Yeah, the Phoenix thing too.
You just said something very, very interesting to me, and this is kind of an offshoot, but as a college basketball guy, I think you'll like it. Wake Forest has a sneaky, incredible all-time top 5. Yep. Like, you wouldn't expect them to. I wonder because you got just on
Chris
that.
Paul,
him,
TD.
Duncan,
Randolph Childress, right?
Yeah,
Randolph Childress was a beast.
Oh God,
Reegs loves him. He still blogs him like once a year.
I think
he was unbelievable.
Wake Forest has a sneaky, very, very.
Who would you
good,
round out the other two?
I would have to look at it, but they have a good one. I'm just trying to think of other teams that have a sneaky great. Like Alabama's got a sneaky good. They had Sprewell and Ori back then.
Antonio McDyess too.
Yeah, they got a sneaky.
They're
good
only
one.
going to get better now. The way Oates is building.
They're fun to watch. They're fun to watch.
But how about LSU? They got Shaq, Chris Jackson,
Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
Stanley Roberts.
Big Baby was a horse back then.
Yeah, Big Baby, Tyrus Thomas.
I kind of like that little college basketball offshoot.
Stromae Swift.
What are the teams that have just these secret
sneakies? Yeah.
Oh, you didn't even say Pete Maravich, by the way.
Yeah, he's
maybe the greatest college player of all time.
My dad used to go to all his games.
Yeah, that's if you start building those up, you're like, oh wow, they could make a run in a 64-team tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking Chris Paul and Tim Duncan. That's 2 top 50 players of all time, right? Easy.
You
don't think?
I don't know if Chris Paul's
the
easy.
bit. Yeah, I don't know if he's
There's
easy.
so many good point guards.
I think Chris Paul sneaks into the top 50, and I think Tim Duncan.
His longevity is huge because, I mean, it's crazy to think about, like, 2005, it was the debate was like him, D-Will, who's the best point guard. Like, unanimous 1 and 2, and D-Will's been gone forever.
And
he's still playing, like, real minutes.
The longevity is got to give him. But, man, I guess nobody has more at stake in the playoffs than him. I mean, with his legacy. If he beats the Lakers here, I mean, damn.
Well, I think LeBron always has the most at stake in the playoffs because he is chasing Michael, and people, even when LeBron will hang 35, 10, and 10 for a playoff series, he couldn't lift he couldn't win. So I think if he goes out before the finals, LeBron's going to take a beating. Will it be fair? No, it never is. But I think he's got a lot at stake. I think CP3. I don't know if CP3 has a lot at stake. CP3 just needs a breakthrough at some point. He needs to get to the finals. And
CP3 might have the
solidifies him, I believe.
The most to gain.
That's
I don't think he has
to
to lose much because no one was expecting them to even win this round.
It's kind of like another,
But that'd be a big notch
They were
on his
dogs.
belt.
They had to be dogs before the series.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, of course.
which
So
is
that'd be a
crazy.
I think it's plus 180, I believe.
Crazy.
Huge notch in his belt if he gets home with a title.
The winner of this, I think the winner of this series beats the Blazers or Nuggets. I mean, I
do
feel
too.
pretty confident the winner.
I don't know, man.
They better score the way the Nuggets and Blazers are playing.
That's
though.
true.
It seems
Phoenix
like they
is
could,
playing lower scoring
they
games.
could
too.
dictate that tempo and.
Well, Phoenix and LA both play great defense, and that's why I think tonight the over is going to be the play because AD kind of anchors that defense for LA. It's the best defense in the league.
208 is pretty low too.
I did a little deep when Harrell plays. They run way more too.
Do they?
They want to get up and down when Harrell starts. So I'm on the over also.
So they'll be fascinating to watch. And if LeBron turns on the Jets and tries to run Phoenix, that'd be interesting.
I just always feel like in these games, like you always come out and you're thinking like, you know what, like he's gonna take over, and I feel like he's always a little more passive than you'd like him to be.
Who are you talking about?
LeBron.
Well, that was the game that still
Probably.
drives me nuts.
Like a game without AD, like, yo, grab the ball, go get 40 and go win this
You
game.
say that, but there are moments in his career, like the scoring 25 points at the end of the Detroit game in 2007, and then the game 6 against Boston when their backs against the wall, and he went out and scored 45.
Well,
in
I
three
guess
quarters.
I'm not talking about I'm talking about like this LeBron, like the little older LeBron.
Okay.
I feel like there's times when you want him to just grab it by the balls and just like establish, I'm the best player on the court. We're not losing tonight. And I feel like at times he just hasn't done that.
There's a raging debate: is Chris Paul the top 5 point guard of all time? I think he's behind Magic for sure. He's behind Isaiah. I think he's behind Stockton.
Well, see, it gets
Is he
so
behind Nash? I don't know.
it gets so
You know what, yeah.
squirrely now too because the NBA has gone so positionless. Like
That you have to say Curry.
like LeBron, Steph Curry, like all these guys, like because I'm LeBron. I think it gets slippery, but he legitimately probably played point guard and offense most of his career. I think that's fair to say.
Paul or Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah.
Okay. Now let's
Easily.
go look
Yeah.
at championship. Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
Isaiah took 2 gritty teams to championships when winning a championship was. I mean, he was between the fucking Showtime Lakers and the Michael Bulls.
And he somehow managed to get 2 of them.
And they
right?
won 2 in a row, and,
Back to back.
and maybe the most
He
competitive
was the
stretch
best
in
player
NBA
on the
history.
yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah,
really.
yeah.
They weren't really a superstar team either.
No.
They were
No.
kind of a sum.
They
One
were
beer,
they were some of their other parts. They were made by the way they played, and he was the face of that. So Isaiah's very underrated.
And he was always the other thing with Isaiah is some of the Chris Paul stuff. Everybody hated him so much he doesn't get credit.
Yeah, well,
nobody liked him.
It's even worse with him because players hated him. Everybody like Chris
Every
Paul. I don't
team
think players
stuff,
hate
yeah.
Chris Paul. I think players look up to Chris Paul, but players hated Isaiah
Yeah,
Thomas.
hated Isaiah. I mean, the Dream Team thing, like that shit's real. They were like, yeah, he ain't playing.
No, Michael wasn't going to let that happen, and he wasn't the only one. People hated Isaiah. Like Karl Malone gave him 40 stitches one night.
And then you would think he would just fade away. Like, all right, I fucked up. I'll take my NBC gig. You know, he tanked the WNBA. I'm pretty sure. Like, he fucked up.
The Liberty.
Oh,
No,
he tanked the
that was
CBA.
after.
He tanked
CBA,
the
thank
yeah.
you. CBA. Then he fucking tanked the Knicks.
Yeah, awful. He was the worst.
He signed.
Did he do
Eddie
something
Curry
weird
and-
with the Raptors, too?
He's never really succeeded after.
I
his
believe he was
playing
shitty. He
career.
coached the
He
Liberty and he was ass too.
Well, that's insane that he don't. He's got
Crazy.
pictures. He's got pictures on Dolan somewhere that Dolan would let him.
Didn't he have some? He had some rough like off the courts. Like he had some
$11 million
he had some-
lawsuit.
Didn't he have some
Horrible
stuff with mistreating women in the
horrible
office
shit
kind of thing?
to Anuka Brown Sanders, who is she's a genius woman. You look into her background, he's treating her like a piece of shit. Like, yeah, really, really scummy shit. But I mean, you would just think like, hey, everyone hates me. Let me just fade away, and he just couldn't do it, and would be an asshole even more. And now Knicks fans who are 15 years old hate him because they know what he did to the Knicks. Idiot. He has just no self-awareness.
All right, so NBA playoffs is marching on. Again, you got the Nuggets and the Blazers tied at 2. The Lakers, Suns tied at 2. The Clippers, Mavs, which it's tied at 2, but it definitely feels like the Clippers went ahead and got off the mat and said, all right, enough of this bullshit. We're going to go ahead and
Made some good adjustments on Luka.
yeah, we're going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to get through this. Luka's not fully healthy, and without a fully healthy Luka, without Luka just dominating, the Mavs don't have a chance. So it looks like I do think the West is a lot more wide open than somebody like me gave it credit for. I assumed the Lakers would beat the Suns and then kind of march through, but I don't think that's the case. Watching these games, the West is like balance. And then on the East, I think it's just going to be a war. Of course, Embiid goes out last night. Whatever, they'll be fine. Especially if he gets back on the court, they're going to handle their business. But this Nets-Bucks series that we're about to have very soon is going to be. I think that's going to be the series of the playoffs. I think it's going to be a 7-game war. You just think the Nets are going to put it together?
I don't know if they're going to just like run through them. I wouldn't be shocked if it was just like 5.
I tell you one X factor.
I think the Nets are honestly like if AD can't come back, and especially if Embiid's like out for a little bit, I don't think Embiid matters that much. Like, I think Nets are going to win it all, but there are certain things like if AD's like out for a while, if Embiid's more hurt than maybe we realize, I think the Nets could run through this.
But here's the thing: the Bucks and the Sixers will get after your ass and defend you. And they've got offensive players that you better defend. The Nets can't play defense.
Yeah, but they can't guard they can guard these other teams. They can guard the Heat. They can't guard the Nets.
But can the Nets guard them? That's the question.
I don't think it matters.
The one thing the Bucks do have, and this is where Drew Holiday is going to show if he's worth that $40 million a year they just gave him. He D'd up Lillard and swept the Blazers a couple years ago. Him on Kyrie, and then you've got Giannis the size against Durant. Maybe
Honestly,
they do. I mean, I don't know.
more-
Maybe they match up a little better.
You
People
almost
think.
better put him on Harden. Like Harden's
He
the
can do
point
that
guard.
too. Okay, Holiday can do that either way.
It's just
If they gave him 4 and 160, some crazy contract, he's going to have to earn it in that series.
I agree with you 100%, Ben. But I'm just like, there's such a part of me that like those 3 guys, it's just like impossible to guard all of them at once. Because now I feel like they're really starting to click a little bit.
What they have the other day, like 102 combined or something?
I mean, when you
On the Barstool Sportsbook app today, one of my specials is over 90 for the big 3 for Harden,
I love
Durant,
it.
and Kyrie. Over 90.
When you're seeing in like a blowout game, they're getting Durant's getting 37, Kyrie's getting 37. Like,
that's what I was going to.
they're scoring a shit.
I worry
ton.
a little bit in a blowout if they are blowing them out start to finish, especially if it's a clincher.
Yeah.
They rest them in the 4th. It's the only thing I'd worry about.
So I got to report to you.
I don't think
Because the last game was a blowout, pretty much wire to wire, and they had them in most of the fourth quarter when they were up like 18ish.
I have to report to you the discussions in the chat. Sometimes it's very good, and I take it. Sometimes it's embarrassing and terrible. And today I regret to inform you it's embarrassing and terrible. There's a debate in the chat right now, this one right here, about they were like, Stockton got to play with better players, and then somebody said no, he didn't. And they're comparing Karl Malone to prime Blake Griffin right now. And they're saying who was better, Karl Malone or Blake Griffin. And there's an actual argument.
What?
Get the fuck out of this chat if that's what you're discussing. Are you kidding me? Saying
What
Blake
is he,
Griffin
third
is
or
his,
fourth all-time leading scorer, Malone?
Blake Griffin, he's second, right?
Second? Yeah, I know it's something insane.
Blake Griffin better than Karl Malone? Are you high? What is wrong with you people?
I think
God.
They weren't
I think
alive.
it
They weren't
depends on
alive for the Malone thing.
it depends on, I think, if you're making kind of the like Gretzky to like compare to now era, then like I get it if you're trying to do that angle. I mean, he's clearly more accomplished. Blake, he just got hurt, and I think his peak didn't last as long as we would have liked it to. He had a little peak there that just the way he could like facilitate too, he was really, really good. I'm not gonna say he was. His career definitely has not been better than Karl
Even at his
Malone's,
best, he
but-
was never a top 5 MVP candidate. Karl Malone was an MVP when Michael Jordan was in the league.
No, it's fair. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like one. Also, it's always tough for like me. Like I didn't really watch Malone play. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm some expert on like I can vision in my mind Malone playing.
Malone was Blake Griffin with a jump shot.
Where is he in top 5 scoring? Malone. He's still
There's 2.
2, right?
Yeah.
Two.
I knew.
Were you not here when we just said that?
I didn't hear that part.
Okay.
But I knew it was good. That's the part that you lose. Like, guys, fucking second all time.
The longevity stuff
Yeah,
has
he
to make up for
fucking
it. 'Cause
played.
Blake had a great few-year run, but like.
Well, now I think it's everyone just tries to compare like the old school and the new school, and they just say he couldn't hang, he's not athletic enough, and I think they try to say that about kind of like everybody from the old school. But
I do think
Karl
that's
Malone was super athletic.
I think you have to pay respect to the old guy, but I do agree to that to a sense that this league is miles different than what was going on even 15,
It's different,
20
but
years ago.
again, Karl Malone could hit the 18 to 20-foot jump shot.
Fair enough, 1,000%. That's why he's
could
legit.
too.
But the speed and the athleticism, like some of these guys would blow away. Like I don't know.
The floor spacing stuff. It's almost like with the spread offense
Like
did in college football.
John Starks, who
game,
I
in a
like.
way.
John Starks was an all-star. John Starks was on finals teams or a finals team. I don't think he'd be the 12th man in the league.
No,
right
there's
now.
a lot of guards, especially that Houston Knicks series, like Kenny Smith and then Maxwell. Like there are a lot of guards in that series. Mario Elie, a lot of guards in that series wouldn't have
I don't
jobs
want to
now.
overstep myself, but could Clyde Drexler hang with?
I think so.
Okay,
Probably could shoot.
you start to add those up, and you're like, man, there's a lot of guys here that are just bigger, faster, stronger than.
I think like today's NBA, just like this is why I think like the Giannis won't win. This is why I think the Sixers will never win with Ben. Like I just think if one of your elite players cannot even knock down like mid-range jump shots consistently, you just can't spread the floor enough. Like you just can't win.
So
you can't win a championship. You can win games, but you can't win the whole thing.
NBA fan behavior is like a bunch of ricos out there. They're throwing water bottles. They're throwing popcorn. What's going on? Is it just a matter of these crowds have been shut up for a year and they've forgotten how to act, or I don't know? Are they mad at the NBA?
They think they're invincible too.
Mm-hmm.
No, they wouldn't be mad at the NBA if they're
Actually,
willingly giving
arena,
their money. Those are the old men yelling at the crowd. I'm not watching the NBA. Like this bullshit. Like those people are lost anyway. But what?
Just a good question. Sorry.
All right.
Would I take KG over Malone? We can debate that for 30 seconds in a minute. I would definitely take Malone, but go ahead.
It's an interesting one. Yeah, I just think it's people think they're invincible. Like even that kid was like it's like, hey man, actions have consequences.
The NBA court, it's like they are so close to the player. They have more access to the players in the NBA than almost any.
I think they should get away with the seats in between the bench. I don't like how they move the benches down and give guys courtside. Your courtside should be opposite. As a coach, you should be able to go the whole. Now they do go, but it shouldn't be in front of fans. You know, like a big shot or the coach, they shouldn't get to say something. They shouldn't get to high five the guy. Keep the courtside seats on one side.
See, I think those aren't even the issue. It's like because those you're right there on them. It's the guys who are like the kid who throws the water bottle. It's the treating them like zoo animals thing where it's like they're like they're in like a cage,
right? And
there's like a wall in between you, aka like the distance, security. So they just think they can do whatever they want. Like he knows I'm gonna throw this water bottle at him. He's not gonna slap me in the face after because I'm 100 feet away from him.
Also, you definitely should probably ban that guy for life. But charged him with assault and battery. I mean, that's a little.
Well,
silly.
I think what they do is you're sending a message. Like I don't think the guy's gonna do he probably got arrested, he got bailed out by his parents, whatever. He's not gonna do actual jail time. But I think it's just sending the message like, listen, like you can't just throw shit at people like they're fucking animals.
I think they set a precedent now, though. Everybody's gonna think twice about doing it.
Yeah,
I don't agree with it either. I mean, he didn't,
Well, not like assault, like he didn't. It's not assault and battery, but.
All right, so why don't we do? It's 12:41. Let's do picks.
Sure.
And then we'll circle back and we'll talk a little baseball. We'll talk about. Let me lay out the rest of the week for you. This is my last show of the week. It's my only show of the week. I'm going to Kentucky to do some Ohio Valley wrestling stuff starting tomorrow. Mintz will host tomorrow. Rico will host Thursday. Big Ev will host Friday. So we're gonna get a lot of different looks.
Oh, you're not in tomorrow?
I'm not in tomorrow.
Are you in next Wednesday?
Yeah.
Can we tease the? We're gonna start next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, me and Rico will start our countdown to college football season.
Oh,
wow.
I'm just getting cut out of this. Like I'm in the group chat.
Yeah, I'm not part of the season.
I'm just cut out. Like it's
I'm missing it too.
I apologize.
I was trying to include everyone.
I said I love the
Let me say
idea.
it.
Boxed you out.
Can I say it? Next Wednesday, an idea proposed by Rico Bosco and approved by me and participated in by Ben Mintz, Big Ev, and all of us. We will do our college football countdown. We'll do team totals. We'll do over-unders. We'll do all kind of stuff. What?
Win total Wednesday.
Then why don't you just fucking say it?
All right.
Say it.
I was teasing
It's win total Wednesday. Every Wednesday from now until kickoff, we're going to each give you a win total. And as they start rolling out the smaller conferences, which we know I love, we'll start in the powers. All of us.
Don't do that.
What do you mean?
Don't take ownership of all the smaller conferences.
I love the smaller
There's already a
conferences.
team that you're going to try to take ownership of that I'm so big on this year.
No,
They're yours?
Yeah, they're mine.
Y'all already starting y'all's research,
Yeah.
huh, boys?
All right, so
I was
if we
gonna
do-
wait till
so
Omaha,
June
but
9th
y'all I'll start early.
June 9th. I can't do the 16th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. We'll end it on August 25th. You're getting 12 from 4 of us. That's
48.
There you go.
4 a
48.
day. Yeah, 48. I want to make sure I wasn't
So we're just
shorting
doing
it.
one a show?
You each give 1.
Okay, all right.
But you're all going to end up giving 12. That's 48 win totals that we have. We'll see where we go. I'm hoping we go 40-8. Fuck it.
Why
and
not
I
48?
love
No.
what?
Why not
You
48?
gotta
No.
factor in some losers. It's like a flight time. Hey, we're gonna land at 3:30, and you really land at 3:15. Everyone's happy.
So
I also love it if we go head to head.
I wrote down
Like nobody tell each other what it is coming in, and I like that too.
I wrote down like 20 of them yesterday.
All right.
I went through one good time, and I love some of them. So
I gotta get my magazines. I usually have them.
you don't have the magazine yet?
best.
I didn't. Yeah, I gotta get
Only
them. This
Athlon's out so far.
week. This week, I
Best.
gotta get them.
I love
Is
it.
that one the only one out so far?
So far, it came out last week. Yeah.
I gotta get it this week. I gotta
And
pick it up.
it comes out so early because they're so like Kansas in the magazine doesn't even have a coach.
Do you see? We could talk about that for a second. Do you see? He got all the guys. Like I think it's like 12 starters from Buffalo the transfer to Kansas.
Did you see?
A lovely.
You seen that? How
No,
crazy is that?
I didn't see that.
On the Barstool Sportsbook app.
You got like the whole fucking roster to
'Cause
just
I like
Play in the Big
Buffalo.
12,
transfer,
boys.
transfer to Kansas.
on the Barstool Sportsbook
like
app. You know what their
Buffalo.
total is? Kansas.
One or
It's one.
Or
Oh, I'm
half.
gonna fire. I love that coach.
I do,
I
too.
love that's dude.
He's
love
from
it.
Buffalo. That's who they got.
There's no.
That's what I just
Lance
read.
Leipold.
The
No,
other day.
there's literally no bigger upgrade than Les Miles to Leipold.
I think it was
in college
as of now-
football. It's like
I'm pretty
the
sure it was
biggest
as of now
upgrade.
12 players. 12 players
Okay.
in the Buffalo roster going to Kansas.
Dude, that's I'm all over.
Crazy.
Okay.
And I think a lot of them were starters, I'm pretty sure.
Kansas always gets a couple of fucking dogs too on their schedule.
Arthur L says their schedule isn't that bad this year.
They still have Puka. at
I've
running
noticed.
back?
I
think
don't
he
know if
left.
he's coming back.
Okay.
I've noticed that I feel like schedules this year, if you look at them across the board, are a little tougher. The FCSs and the smaller conferences of the world have seemed to take a back seat for a lot of conferences because I've looked like BYU plays 7 Power 5 teams. Even the non-Power 5 teams they play are very good. So I think schedules this year will be as strong as we've seen.
Probably to make up for lost revenue with COVID last year.
I
They're
noticed
trying to
if you,
schedule bigger games.
Kansas has 2 winnable games in my opinion. South Dakota and Duke.
That's it.
I think they got more than that.
Yeah.
Sure. Just I think they.
I haven't looked too as far as who's horrific in the Big 12.
Yeah.
And they could take a leap up. But first glance, they have Coastal. I think they're going to be a huge dog in that game.
That's true.
South Dakota and Duke. Duke's supposed to be awful.
Crazy.
Awful.
The last 2 years, they were favored against Coastal. Both
Yeah.
games.
Arthur
They
says.
were on a college football show. They were my week 1 lock of the week both times.
Arthur says, if I wasn't a writer, I'd say that Rico borrowed Dave's jeans, but I'm a writer, so I won't. Well, that's good.
They're not that tight.
What do you want me to say? Yeah, there's a lot of scooting going on.
That was just a full-on electric bike ride.
Oh, was
I
it?
think that was Kyle Bauer
It
of,
went by so fast I missed it.
of the Anal
even
Boys.
see.
All right, let's go with we'll let Big Ev start since he finished second for
He's
the
hot.
Heater.
month. He was 71, 65, and 3, up 15.37 units. Marty, of course, won the month. I don't know. Do we have Marty's picks, TJ?
Yes.
We do have Marty's picks. Well, I guess I'll just read Marty's since he did win the month. I'll let him go first. Big Ev will be the first one in the building. Nets minus 12.5 against the Celtics. Trailblazers plus 2. Lakers plus 6. Yankees money line. Y'all gonna keep betting on that fucking team, huh?
I haven't been.
And
That's
then
probably that's what would keep me in the race. I haven't been. They look awful. I mean, to get swept by the fucking Tigers.
to sweep
Jesus
the White
Christ.
Sox, one of the best, the team with the best second best run differential in the league, to sweep them and then just lay an egg by getting swept by Detroit. That's unbelievable.
This team, I mean, this offense, they just go. They're so hot and cold. Like they're red hot. They're hitting a ton of homers, or they're just not. I mean, right now we scored the least amount of runs in baseball. We're tied with the
No.
Orioles.
Really?
It's because our starting pitching's been so good. We have one of the best starting pitching ERAs in all of baseball. I think we score on average the least amount of runs per game in all of baseball.
Wow.
Insane.
All
Tied
right.
with the Orioles. Tied with the Orioles.
White Sox might be my favorite team to bet on. They just fucking mash lefties.
Yeah.
It's so
They're
easy.
so-
It's incredible.
They're
so
good.
easy.
Big F.
All right, I'm on the Twins run line. I'm also on the Twins Orioles over 9. A's run line. I got the Suns minus 5.
Throwing a big card at us.
I got the over in every game.
Okay.
Expect the Lakers Suns one. I think I like the most. It is so fucking due this over. I've been on the last. I think 2. It's missed both. It is so due. I said it earlier. Harrell in the starting lineup for the Lakers. They play way faster when he's in the court. Give me that over. Give me all the overs. Honestly, Nets for me at this point are just like an over automatic. Like they're playing the game. Give me the over. I can't wait for that Bucks series. Those totals are gonna be like 245. Give me the over every time. That over. Blazers Nuggets. They're running. Give me the over in all 3.
I've been taking Mavs Clippers. It's 2-2. It should be 3-1. Game 1 lost by fucking 1 after the Clippers shot like shit. I think that I tell that's the series. I'm just taking all of them. I don't care.
All right, so I actually agree with Big Ev, and I'm not usually a huge over guy. I like to find the unders, but I think with AD out, the Lakers defense just isn't going to be as strong tonight. They're going to have to run a little bit to counter this. I think Lakers Suns over is a strong play. Nets Celtics over. I'm the exact same way. Nets are an auto over right now. Nuggets minus 2 to take control of that series at home. I like Rays Yankees under 7.5. You got a good pitcher Glasnow, and the Yankees offense hasn't been doing much. And then I like Braves Nats under as well. Strasburg against Max Fried, I believe. The Braves just so much going on. Every time they seem to get any momentum, they have Marcell Ozuna go out and do what he does. He's probably done for life now. So the Braves just can't get any momentum going, especially offensively. I like those are my 5 picks. Rico Bosco.
I got 3. The Orioles, money line. The Giants.
Wow. Fading everybody on that Orioles.
What? It's awful juicy.
167 and 143 kind of net out.
All right, fair
Take
enough.
that. And I'm on the Suns because I'm rooting for LeBron to go down.
I think the Suns are the right play. I just I do worry about LeBron hanging that 45, 14, and 12, and willing.
Yeah, I
his
mean
team
he's
to
gonna go
victory.
berserk and make you sweat, but it's like an emotional thing too. I'm in on the Suns. I sniffed it out from game one. I'm like, how worried are we about the Suns? And fucking Marty's like 0-0. They're not losing. Like, all right. Now I didn't think AD was gonna get hurt, but
If you
They were losing that game regardless. They were losing wire to wire.
If I gave you $500 right now and said you have to make a serious bet on Suns and Lakers, are you betting Suns now?
I'm taking the Suns.
I think I'm still betting Lakers, and maybe that's to my detriment. But I think I'm still.
It
betting
might be a
Lakers
good spot if the Suns win tonight.
to get it then.
Yeah, because the Lakers being home games, that might be the spot to get
I
it.
think actually if you like day traded those prices,
Yeah.
I think you could have both teams. I don't know how plus, but I think the series swings on these guys have been
Well, the injury,
kinda up
Paul
and
and AD. getting
yeah,
hurt.
exactly.
All right, Ben Mintz.
All right, I admire Rico going with the Orioles because they haven't. I feel like they haven't won in a minute. Twins by run and a half. I'm going with Philly because Aaron Nola's pitching. I'm actually taking the Yankees as a home dog plus 110 just on the fade. I've got over 4.5 Oakland runs, and then in the NBA, I think the Celtics are done. One of those things, Brooklyn scores so many points, I don't mind laying 13 when they score in the 140s. It's like easier to cover.
The only thing I saw on that, I think you're right with the Nets, is does Boston have any kind of like fight at the end to just not get eliminated? Will they play a little bit harder? And
the main thing is just the fact the Nets can score so much.
All
And
right,
then I'm letting my heart decide this Phoenix thing though. I do feel like Phoenix may be a little suckery with everybody going against them with AD being out.
Suckery.
But I'm still taking Phoenix.
Okay.
And
What do you guys think the line is right now for that series, Suns Lakers, right now as it stands?
Almost dead even, I would think.
Suns minus 120.
I'd go to 140. 135, I'd say.
I saw Suns minus 168.
Whoa. You're right, Rico. You're right about it.
I think they're taking AD like in basically that he's not going to play.
Yeah.
Probably it's a serious. That's crazy. Minus 168 for the Suns.
Discussion question to end the show on.
Well,
Okay.
LeBron has to win. I could see the Suns still winning 6 and 7, as crazy as that sounds. LeBron has to win tonight because I don't think
So I
down
don't.
3-2
I
he can
disagree.
win 6 or 7.
I think if AD comes back reasonably healthy, he can absolutely win 6 or
Okay.
7.
Fine, I'm taking AD out of the equation. I'm just saying they got to play with what
I
they
think
got.
the Suns got to win today. I think they have to win.
Oh, home, yeah.
Have to win.
So
It's weird because it's true. Both teams do have.
I think
both
I
do
think
have
I
to
think
win.
five.
You make a
Very
case
good.
either way.
I
Yeah.
think the Lakers can afford it a little more. Just like if AD can come back, they definitely can win 6-7.
That's
yeah,
what
and then
drives-
the pressure of playing the Lakers in the sevens.
That's what drives me berserk. These series are all 2-2, 1-1-1, and we get to the finals and it's 2-3-2. Why are we giving the team without home court advantage the biggest swing game in the series? That still drives me. Now we're worried about travel. They've been traveling for fucking 7 months.
all right. So discussion question to end the show today is: with Mike Trout injured, he is universally thought to be the best player in baseball. Who is the best player in baseball?
Tatis or Ohtani.
Is it
say
Ohtani?
DeGrom.
I was gonna say, is it
Ohtani.
Acuna?
He's saying DeGrom. I mean, DeGrom's driving in a run every time he pitches.
DeGrom's ERA .71 is the lowest ERA entering June for a starting pitcher since 1964.
Yep.
And that was when they changed the mounds after it.
Yeah, yeah.
He has more RBIs than he has given up runs.
Yeah.
He's
That's
batting
insane.
450.
He's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Ohtani has a 2.72 ERA. He has 15 home runs. He has it's
he can
unprecedented
run.
what he's doing, and he can run. Tatis has played in 38 of 55 games. As of right now, if he were to play the rest of the games this year, he's on pace to possibly have a 50-50 season. He has 16 home runs, 12 stolen bases.
Plus, I think he gets a little more street cred because he's a bad boy.
Yeah,
Like in the sense of that the old timers hate him, and he could be what fixes the younger kids. Like, oh, old guys hate me. My dad hates him. I'm gonna root for. Like you see it all the time with Iverson, Reggie Miller. Like the older people be like, that guy. Like he's got a little edge to him. People are gonna root for him.
I think Tatis would be a lock if he wasn't such a bad shortstop.
But it's hard to say a starting pitcher is the best player in baseball because they only play every 5 days. But with Ohtani, he's a good starting pitcher, and he does play
He
the
hits
other
every
5
day.
days.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm going with Ohtani just because it's so unique. I mean, he does both. I've never seen anything like
I
it.
just wish the baseball would step in and make the Angels trade all the good players because they're just wasted. They're just wasted out there, and they're not going anywhere. It's just or at least just give all the good players from the Angels to the Dodgers. At least we'll know they'll be in the World Series.
They already got a lot though.
Which is crazy because the Angels did make a World Series not a little bit long ago. What was that?
02.
They won it. Yeah,
like 19 years ago.
K-Rod.
I know.
That Barry Bonds hit that homer that still hadn't landed. I remember.
Yeah, the Giants were an inning and a half away from winning they gave up a 4-0 lead, I believe, in the 8th inning.
That was my diehard baseball.
DeGrom is the best pitcher of all time. Relax. No, he's not the best pitcher of all time. He has to do this for 4 or 5 years. I mean, Koufax was incredible.
Randy Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, Pedro had a stretch where he was this dominant. Just see how long it lasts.
When you go look up Tom Seaver's numbers, Seaver's numbers are insane compared to
forever though.
I tried to say
Seaver was good for a long time.
Yeah, it's insane.
I got a quick question for the chat. I'm asking the chat to respond. If I do like 10 or 15 minutes of college baseball NCAA tournament regional talk tomorrow, are y'all for this or against it? Say you're for it or not. Let me know.
Y or N right now.
Yeah, just say Y or N because I'm trying to get feedback on doing
why
it.
you support the 20-minute college baseball talk, and you do not support it.
Yeah,
and
I will look at your feedback and make my decision.
I just committed mass chat
we have
plagiarism.
all those
I'm
lines,
reading.
right?
I'm involved in the chat. How's that plagiarism?
We're gonna have super regionals in Omaha.
Who do you like right now as a World Series
Arkansas
pick?
is like so dominant
You
this year.
still get 750 to 1 on that?
I don't think
it's 7.5 to 1.
They've been so dominant. I don't think Arkansas is going to win it.
Yeah, baseball is such a weird sport too. I need to go through. Vandy.
I like Vandy. They got the two best pitchers.
Vandy with rocker and lighters, tough too.
Yes, no, yes.
What about going
Mostly
hometown?
yes.
We get NJIT at 30,000 to 1.
They're there at Arkansas. They got Centauri. They're playing them.
All right.
So they can knock them off first
Knock
round.
them right out, right?
The Yak is up next. That was Pick Central. Good show, boys.